Well, it's something's happening, and we're playing RWBY.
Yeah, something is happening. It's a play session, and we're in Tabletop Simulator.
We sure are, boys.
With this little board game that we got here. What board game is this, Duncan?
This is a little board game called RWBY Combat Ready. I own this game in real life.
Yeah.
And I was surprised and pleased that they had most of the game in tabletop. There's still some objective cards missing. There's a few, little bibbly boops that were sort of extra.
I see the singe run out of, but what?
But
someone,
other
I
than
don't
that,
see
it's
the
pretty
person
much.
next to.
What are you talking about?
There's a block card next to Thingy above Adam.
Yeah, they don't have. I guess they forgot to put the graphics in for that one, but they still got the right printing on them, so it's fine.
There's supposed to be more Roman cards there.
Yeah,
yes, they are. Yeah, so I'll explain that in a second. Hey, so I guess we should probably explain how this game works.
Yeah,
since there's a lot to it.
Yeah, it's going to be part gameplay, part tutorial.
Yes, so this is a deck building game.
Okay.
Basically, the whole objective here is that we're going to fight a villain. And I have decided that villain is going to be Roman Torchwick.
Oh, sorry, wrong Roman.
So let me just go ahead and make his deck here.
Shuffle. Oh, the image just started loading.
No. So basically, I'll explain that in a second. So basically, when we're gonna take turns going in the middle to this part of the board right here. I'll lead to sort of a tutorial.
Okay.
And we're going to be taking turns fighting Roman. And the way that's going to work is he's going to reveal he's going to place a card, and that's going to be his attack for the turn. And then we're going to have cards out of our main deck, which you'll see nicely labeled. It's the 14 card deck in case it's not properly labeled for you.
Yeah, I see. 14 RWBY main deck.
Yeah, so for you, it'd be the
deck on the left.
deck.
I assume these should be shuffled as well, by the way.
Yes, they should be shuffled. Give that a shuffle. And you draw 5 cards out of that. Now, honestly, you could probably play this game face up because you don't really need to. We're all friends here. We're all working together.
Okay.
So it's like not the end of the world if everyone knows what you're playing because you're trying to work together to beat this bad guy.
So if we all draw 5, is it just each turn? On the person's turn.
Everyone draws 5. Everyone draws 5 cards. Now, unlike a lot of deck building games where you draw your cards for the turn and then you get rid of them and then you get rid of them at the end of the turn, whatever cards you draw, these are the cards you're going to have for, the round.
Right.
So basically, Roman is set to attack us this turn, and we're going to attack in response.
Okay. Okay.
So at the top left corner of each card, you'll see that there's a number there. That number is your speed value.
Right.
And in every round, every fight, whoever's attack has the highest speed, whether it's us or the bad guy, succeeds in their attack, and they hit us, or we hit them.
Right.
Okay.
So we want to be faster than the enemy whenever possible.
Do we choose how much speed we have?
Well, like I said, the top left corner, the number at the top left corner of the card, that's their speed value.
Because my Blake card's got a 10-1 there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very fast card. Now, the reason why there are variable speeds, and you would think I'll just play whatever the fastest card is all the time. But there's some strategy to that in the sense that I've somehow picked up the entire deck here. So whatever card is on the back here, the card back here sort of indicates what the approximate speed value of the enemy attack is going to be.
Right.
So, for example, this is a subtle card. Now, subtle cards tend to have very low speeds, but they'll usually have some kind of ill effect on the enemy, on their opponent.
Right.
So subtle cards are an opportunity to play lower speed cards, but there is a certain risk associated with it because you never know when you're going to get bamboozled.
Hmm.
But he'll also have balanced cards, which have sort of a middling speed, with maybe an effect, and then he'll have aggressive cards, which are very high speed. You want to try and save your highest speed cards whenever possible for the aggressive attacks, because if you match an aggressive attack with a slow card, then you're going to get smacked.
Roman's
More
gonna
specifically,
go giggle.
I'm going to get smacked because I'm the one in the middle here. Now, the person who is engaged on the track here must respond to whoever the villain is. They must respond to their attack. Now, people who are sort of on the sideline can play cards alongside me. Let's say I'm going to do, for example, this is an example. Let's say I decided I was going to do this for my attack. Now, other players can combo, which means they play an attack card from their hand, and they play it for its speed value and its damage value, and the whatever text is in the white area of the card, that effect also applies.
Right, okay. So if I, for example, played this.
Right, so that's a 5-speed card, does 3 damage, and ignores all of the target speed and damage bonuses this round, which that'll be a factor as we go on with this game.
Right.
Now, if you were to do that, that means we're both fighting Roman Torch for this turn, which means that we both apply our full damage to him if we succeed, but we both also take damage if we fail.
Right, so there's risk in that then.
Yeah. An alternative way to help an ally who's playing is you can play your card as a support card, and instead of playing for the speed and damage value, you instead only play for whatever effect is described at the very bottom of the card.
The purple bit.
Right. So in this case, I would give you an extra speed and extra damage if you were to succeed.
Well, for this, it basically just means that for this round, you give me an extra speed and 1 damage for this fight.
Right.
Which means that if we hit, I do 1 more damage, and I have 1 more speed to help me with it. That can be indicated by these helpful little tokens here. We sort of keep track of our bonus.
Fair enough.
So that's one important. So that's the basics of combat. But there's more to it than just
What's with the 3 X's?
just fighting the villain. What?
The cards have got 1, 2, and 3 X's on them.
Is that the damage?
That's the damage value. However many X's there are, that's how much damage the card will do. Usually the slower attacks will do more damage, faster attacks will do less damage. Sort of a balancing mechanism. But now that I've explained the basics of the combat, there's a little bit more going on here because it's not just us fighting the villain one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
We also have objectives going on the sideline, indicated by these piles up here.
Okay.
Now, the base game comes with, or at least this version of the game comes with 18 objectives, and you can use any combination of these objectives as you want. You can use any objective, any amount of objectives, any combination of objectives, whatever you want to do. You can really build your own scenario.
Right.
Get a lot of freedom in that regard. So let's say, for example, and I think this is probably going to be a good way to start. I pulled out this one and say, what's a good one? Could do that one. And one of these boys.
Okay. So we've got 3 objectives. All graded easy.
All SY ones.
Alright, so this first one here, I'll explain. The henchman objective adds an additional modifier to the game in which there are now henchmen fighting alongside Roman. And the way that's going to resolve is that at the beginning of each fight, there's the actual game itself has a lot of more specific terminology that's similar enough to be confusing. So I might not get all the exact terminology correctly, but basically, like, I'm separating rounds, which is an individual attack, versus like a whole fight, which is going down the track one whole cycle.
Mm-hmm.
As 2 different things. For each cycle that we do, three more henchmen get placed onto the field.
Okay.
And the thing about the henchmen is that they're going to be trying to attack the player in the middle. That's me in this case. If nobody engages with them, so what happens with them is they're not going to be doing anything right away. However, if a villain successfully bashes us, which means that each round they move one space along this track here. Whether they win or lose, they move one space along this track. When they get into this range here, starting on spot number 3, they can start doing a bash. What that means is if they do any damage to us, if they successfully beat us in a fight while they're in this part of the field, they bash us, which means that the round immediately ends and the next player cycles in. And if there are any outstanding henchmen during a bash, and a villain bash, the person in the middle gets attacked by all of the henchmen at once. So they take a bunch of bonus damage.
Ouch.
So we want to avoid getting bashed as much as possible. Now, we can bash ourselves. The way we do it is we get to about here and onward in the track.
Mhm.
And then we can use our ultimate, which is the one face-up card that you have next to you that is not part of your deck. It says ultimate underneath it. Mine's Shooting Star. You've got Red Divide. And you've got Nightblade. Now, if any of us have reached this point in the track, we can use our ultimate at any time, and that will bash the enemy and immediately end the turn. And they'll also, whatever effects are written on the card will also take place as well. Ultimates cannot be blocked. They're basically like a get out of jail free card. Once you ultimate, you're good.
Does the ultimate get you discarded?
No. The ultimate, you can only use the ultimate if you're the one in the middle, I should say. That's important to know. But you can only use it once. Once you've used it, the round ends and then the next player rotates in.
Okay.
So if you're getting desperate, you can use it right away. If you've taken a lot of damage and need to get out of there, you can use your ultimate and the next round, send the next guy in. Or if you're doing really well and you haven't taken very much damage, you can kind of play with it for a little while and get, extra points along the track, get some extra experience, do extra damage, all that good stuff. So you really gotta, you gotta be sensitive to the flow of the battle. If you run out of cards in your hand, you don't draw additional cards during each round. You just kind of stay with whatever you've got until the next person is rotated in which case you draw a new hand.
Right.
Okay.
Generally, you just draw up to 5 unless something says otherwise.
Unless if there are any cards that tell you to draw or whatever, then you draw. But other than that, you don't gain any new cards until the round has ended.
Okay.
So if you're taking a lot of damage or if you're running out of cards, you want to use your ultimate. Until then, generally speaking, you want to try and hold off as long as possible.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, so the henchmen are a factor. You got to kind of deal with them. They're not an immediate threat because they don't attack every turn like the villain does, but you do have to kind of deal with them. Now for each objective, they each have some modifier to the battle to make it more difficult. The henchmen I've just explained. The armory here means that every time you place a henchman into combat, say you do that, you put a little enhancement token on him. Now, if you decide to fight the henchman, I didn't clarify this. The henchman, only the sideline characters can fight the henchman. The guy in the middle's got to fight the Roman no matter what.
So
it's kind of up to the sideline players to sort of strategize amongst themselves whether they want to fight the henchman, together. They want to send one henchman and then have one person fight in the middle, or if they just want to all focus on Roman. Because nobody has to fight the henchman, it's just a good idea.
Okay.
but only the sideline characters can do that. So it's up to them to figure it out. But if they do decide to fight the henchman when they've got one of these tokens on them, then they flip that token, and that adds a sort of a modifier to that henchman. Like this is a speed boost, so his attacks have +2 speed, which is bad because this guy's got 7 already.
Jesus Christ.
Now, unlike some more forgiving games, like say HeroClix, which you don't know how to play anyway, but whatever. Unlike some more forgiving games, you have to beat the speed in order to kill the henchman. If it's a speed tie, then nothing happens. Both your attacks just bounce and nothing happens. But but in order to do damage to him, you have to beat his speed.
Got you.
I'll probably figure a bit more out once we get a bit further.
Yeah, there's a lot to explain at first, and you'll definitely not remember all of it. And it's definitely a game that you learn more as you play.
Okay.
But yeah, so then we also got the force field token. So what that's going to do is we're going to put these shield dudes here. Now the shields are kind of annoying because what that's going to do is any ranged attacks that we have, and you can read on the card, like on the sort of at the top under the name, you can see whether it's ranged and whatever other characteristics that ability has. So the shield tokens reduce the damage of ranged attacks by 1. And you can only bring them down with melee attack. And if you fail an attack, like if you do a melee attack and it doesn't work out for you, then you take +1 damage. So.
Oh, wonderful.
Now, anytime you clear an objective, you get experience points, which are indicated by the little green star with the number underneath it at the bottom of the card.
Yeah.
So you get 5 experience for beating all the henchmen, and 3 each for the force field and the armory. The experience points can be spent in between rounds, in between cycles, when people are switching out who's in the middle. You can spend your experience points in between those rounds to buy new cards from your upgrade deck. And we'll go into that when we actually simulate that happening.
Okay.
But yeah, basically, you can replace your crappy starting deck with better cards as the game goes on.
Fair dues.
I think that's enough explanation to get us at least started. I would probably recommend Ryan giving like a timestamp in the description somewhere for the folks who want to skip, or in the video who want to skip a certain point when we actually start playing, because like I said, there's a lot to talk about.
Fair dues, can do that.
But anyway, I guess we can get started. So everything else is, we can still keep this card even though the henchmen are still randomized. So we're gonna go ahead and get our henchmen. Oh, sorry, that actually, I'm not supposed to reveal that yet. Let me just shuffle that. All right, so 3 face down henchmen, all of whom get enhancement tokens. So they're sort of lurking in the distance. You won't know what their deal is, what their stats are, what their enhancement is until you actually fight them. So that's sort of, you kind of got to go in with a degree of caution there.
Okay.
All right, so as far as this scenario goes, right now Roman's doing a little subtle attack. Now, one thing I can do is, I know I used it as an example before, but this actually is a really good card. This one right here, if I successfully hit Roman with this attack, I can do 1 damage to all enemies, and that includes the henchmen over here. And if they take 1 damage, they get flipped over to reveal their stats in order to apply the damage to them.
Okay.
So it's a pretty useful ability to have when you've got a lot of face down dudes you don't know how to deal with. So I think that's how I'm going to lead. I should also say you also have a Sembelence, which is described on your character card.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, once per cycle, you can flip your little Semblance token here to use whatever that effect is on your card. Like, for example, I can apply a +1 speed to my character, and if I successfully deal damage, I get to draw a card. Which I think might be good idea for me. I think I'm going to actually do that.
Right.
Grab a little speed token. So that indicates I'm now doing 6 speed.
Okay. So
Now, if you ever do combo attacks, like if you decide to do a combo attack with me, whatever the lowest speed value is amongst all of our combo cards, that is the base speed we work with.
Right.
I get to negate damage. My one.
Yeah, Blake makes it so that you have to declare that like ahead of time.
Yeah, so you
So
can't
if you're going, so like let's say if you're going into an aggressive attack and you don't have as fast a card as you would have hoped for, you can kind of flip that token and be like, all right, well, if we take damage, if the attack would go through, we don't have to worry about it. So that's something to hold on to.
Right. So I'm thinking on this bit that if you succeed with that attack, so you deal 1 damage to all other enemies.
Yes.
Now, provided these enhancements don't increase the health of a henchman, these two.
No, it'll either be speed. It'll either be speed or damage. It won't increase their health.
Right. So if you deal 1 damage to each of the enemies, that means these two would just disappear.
No, see, okay, the way those indicators work on the back, it only indicates sort of an approximate level of their health. Their actual
Right.
stats will be revealed when they flip over. But it's just to give you sort of a sense of how strong the henchman is without giving you the whole spiel. They might only have 1 health, or they might not, depending on what they look like when they flip over.
Right. Well, in that case, so you've got your attack there. Me and D can hit the side lanes or support
Now, I happen to know
combo.
I happen to know from experience of playing this game that the highest speed of a Roman subtle attack is 7. And he only has like 1 or 2 of those, and it's not a particularly dangerous card. So I'm pretty confident at 6.
Okay.
Like I'd say I probably have like an 80% chance of success at 6. So you can either bring that up to 100 with a card that you've got, or you can just take a shot at a hench.
I would like to take a shot at a henchman, if you feel that's good. And so, where would we place our card there? Would we place it just below the henchman on that?
Yeah, sure. Just place it roughly near the henchman that you're going to fight. Yeah, so that you can tell that guy's going to be. You can see that guy's pretty tough.
Yeah, hence which is what I'm looking at there, because due to his approximations.
Oh, I should probably also set his stats here. What are the stats for Roman Torchwick? 65. Okay. So move this cube to the 6. Sorry, no, that's the 5, and that's the 60s column.
Okay, I get you.
All right, so Rybrad's going after the big henchman. What do you think, D?
I was thinking maybe I'll give you some speed and damage next turn. Is that?
So you can get it with a 5. Sorry, what's up?
Next round, you gain 1 speed and 1. Oh, that'll be me, won't it? Not you.
Yeah, that would be applying for you. Which, if you were to attack in a combo next turn, for example, like if you were to play, this one on your next turn and apply that as a combo, then that bonus would still apply to the whole combo. Which is in addition to the fact that card already gets +2 speed and damage when in a combo. So,
how do you use the combos?
Combo is just like it's just like when you put an attack in alongside me, like.
Okay.
Like if you were attacking with me, then we're now in a combo. And that's in opposition to using a support, which is basically just using the bottom text here. So you can either attack with me, support with me, or you can go fight a minion.
Until the flips, I won't mind. Might help you out a little bit. if I can.
Sure. The more the merrier.
Deal 1 damage to an ally target after combat is over. So, if I was to do the sneak
So
attack,
basically what that is, yeah, basically in that scenario, so supports, now I'm not 100% on this one. I could be wrong, but I believe the way supports work is you don't put yourself at risk of taking damage when you do support.
Hmm,
But you also don't do like any really much damage either.
okay. What would be more useful?
Sorry, was that?
What's more useful?
What's more useful?
Depends on the situation.
I would say go in for a combo.
Okay. Or shadow step.
All right, so we're in a combo. 2 5 speed attacks plus 1 speed. Oops. Man, there's a bit of a weird gravity going on here. All right, so we got 6 speed going in for potentially 6 damage. So we'll resolve the henchman first.
Okay.
So it's
Ooh,
got doing plus 1
1
damage and 7 speed. So what happens here is you outspeed him, you do 2 damage, and he dies.
Yay!
Kill the henchman. This kills the henchman. Right,
What about the villain discard pile? Oh no, that's for the villain, isn't it? Not the villain henchman.
There's a discard pile over on the side.
All right, so that's spent. Put that here. Very nice. So you can go ahead and make your own little discard pile somewhere. You don't have one designated to you. You're just gonna have to
I'll just place it over here.
work with it. And now let's figure out what happened with Roman. That's not what. Maniacal Laughter. Plus 1 speed, plus 1 damage at the end of the round. Okay, so the good news is we successfully did 6 damage to him, which is excellent. Bring that up to here. 59 health.
Yay!
So I get to move along 6 points in the track here. 1, 2, 3, 5,
I
6.
gain
You-
its speed
the
and
player
damage
moves
token.
1 point in the track for every point of damage that you did in your combo. So 1, 2, 5, 6. Okay, I have like 4 things that are all coming into my head to explain it all at once. Okay, so everyone also gets plus 1 experience for whatever for any time they do a successful action.
Okay, cool.
So you did a combo, you fought a minion.
Yeah.
I fought Roman, and I also get plus 1 experience for hitting this point in the track. So I'm at 2. You guys don't get that, just me. But all players do get to draw a card because I hit that point. Go ahead and draw another card from your main deck.
1 card. Oh, I like that one. The Slay keyword. If this attack damages a minion, destroy it.
All right, so we did that.
Hmm.
We successfully beat.
I need a
Torchwick
speed and
fight.
damage token, I think.
No, that's next round, isn't it?
Oh yeah, okay.
We're still in this.
Place to put this. Here, I know. Oh, wait. That's not what I wanted to do.
No, no.
I wanted to
I
put
got
it
it
in my
returned.
hand. There. Put it in my hand. Here we go. All right, so all that was successful. That was great. Now, Torchwick moves along 1 space, and because of the effect of his card, speed bonus and damage both increased by 1.
So we add that to the result of whatever that is at the end of the
Yes.
page
So
review.
whatever attack he does next turn, he's going to get a +1 speed and +1 damage to that. So, go ahead. Use these indicators right here.
Okay.
So, his attacks are going to get a little bit scarier as we go forward.
Yeah, just a little.
All right, so now the next card is also a subtle. I made sure to shuffle these pretty good, so it's not a coincidence that we're getting this many in a row. So, this also, my attack also does 1 damage to all these guys. I almost forgot. So, these guys get revealed now. Ooh, that's going to be scary. So, this thug over here is at 10 speed and 3 health. And that guy's
Jesus
got
Christ.
6
Six
speed
speed.
and 2 health. Revealed, deal 2 damage to the attacker. Ah, well, there's no one attacking him right now, so that doesn't
That's
count.
good. Oh, Jesus. Other minions have +1 speed while this card is in play.
Oof,
That's
gonna suck
11
it.
and 7 now, then, yeah?
No, it's the way I read it is that it's other minions, so he doesn't apply his own buff, so it's just this guy.
Still 10 and 7, then.
Yeah, so
Okay.
fighting the minions has become a little scarier. The good news is they took damage for that. So
1 damage for him. So
little damage tokens here.
2 health and 1 health left.
So by that token, it's probably a good idea to try another one of these AoE things. Because if we can sort of passively whittle down that one guy without having to directly fight him, that would be pretty good, because 10 speed has a lot to beat. Oh, I also successfully did damage, so my Semblance, which I activated, lets me draw another card.
As a thing on this, by the way, that was a ranged attack last turn, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, you're right. It did. It was a range attack.
I'd maybe
So,
say mulligan it for now, but because it's just going to mess up more stuff. But I guess going forward, it'd be more or less now.
It's one less. So
I did
damn it.
where I was doing that melee damage to make thingies, so that did do anything to the thingies.
Yeah, so he would lose 1 shield.
That was a melee attack that I did with Blake.
Yeah. Yeah, players still gain normal fury as well, so it doesn't actually mess up more than I thought it was.
So we're in a situation here. We can either do more range attacks that do reduced damage, or I can do melee attack. But that's a lot of speed. That's a lot of speed being wasted on a pretty slow attack.
Yeah, I mean you're still getting normal fury, so
yeah, I'm still getting stuff done. So
I'd say that's probably the better the track to go. And
yeah,
I'm thinking
I'd say we stick with this for now.
Let's think of it this way as well. If I use this on that henchman over there, the speed would
on Mr. Scary on this guy
on this guy.
Weaker guy. Okay.
Yeah. So he would die due to the minion. You'd be an active player. You'd gain an additional fury.
Mm-hmm. So I would move along the track one extra step. Yep.
And then that would just then mean any damage that you do deal should just get you, well, could probably get you to the end of the ultimate zone of this, right?
I'd be pretty close. It's a good idea. The one thought I have about that is that maybe the one thing I have is that if I successfully hit this guy right now,
he'll die anyway.
I'm gonna kill that guy anyway.
Yeah.
You could always, what you could do is you could attack the other henchman with that attack, and maybe use your Semblance. Though that wouldn't actually kill, because the order you would hit him first, and then I would attack Roman.
That would still get you the fury, wouldn't it?
But
throw the attack.
Because the attack itself has to kill
How much
henchman.
speed?
He's got 10 speed.
And your attack would resolve before mine.
Yeah.
Unless you could somehow
I can reduce his
We
speed
can't-
by 2.
No, it's not the speed that's the problem. If you were somehow able to either combo or support with him to make him, if you were somehow able to support with him and give him more damage or something, that would be really cool.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because I can solve the speed problem.
So if I support, then
Easily
I
on
can
this.
reduce its speed. But I can also give you 2 damage and 2 speed with that card. If I combo with you.
There's that. I mean, technically, with the Semblance, I could solve the speed problem on its own there anyway. Because my Semblance grants me 2 speed for any one of my attacks. If I get hit, I take more damage. So, like, I could do that with that.
Hmm.
That would put me at 12 speed,
Okay.
which would damage him.
Will it finish him off?
No.
Okay, hold on.
That's the thing.
Some cards have an assistant with the bottom. This kind of support the. Oh, okay. So yeah, you can support the active or the sideline character. Okay. So combos can only work with the active playback side, but support cards can go with anyone.
The support would be looking at the bottom part, wouldn't we?
Yeah. So the support effects can be applied for sideline characters, but the combo can only be done for active players.
Yeah, so there really isn't much in terms of the support that would do any additional help.
Yeah. So kind of a bummer in that regard.
However, I would hit that first, yeah?
Yeah, you would.
And then should you win against Roman, that would then finish them both off.
It would. You would still not. The fury still wouldn't apply because you didn't kill the minion yourself.
No,
But
but
But at the end of the day, everyone would still die.
yeah, which is, as far as I'm concerned, still a net positive.
And
Yeah,
if and the one thing is if if all the minions are dead, then we can all just focus on Roman for a while.
Yeah.
well, if
So-
I can give Duncan, if I combo with Duncan, I can give him 2 speed, 2 damage.
It's true. You can do that.
Should we go for it then?
Late
seems
cards.
seems like not a bad decision. Actually, you know what? That's probably a good idea too, because even though that brings us down to 4, it brings us back up 2. So
Oh yeah, of course. Base speed, isn't it?
yeah, so that brings it down to 4 and then back up to 6, which is good because he does have +1 speed for this, so he has slightly higher chance than normal to hurt us.
So guess it's time to resolve then.
All right, well, you do your 1 damage to fella.
Yeah. Where are our damage tokens in here? There we go.
And now we reveal what happens with Roman. Okay. If the stack hits, draw and play another attack from Roman's deck that applies automatically. Okay, so he's at 6 and we're at 6, which means that our attacks bounce, nothing happens.
Ah.
Which is a bit of poop. So,
Oh well, no one dies.
unfortunately, that means these guys are still alive. Still alive.
That's a bugger.
It is. Alright, so these are just gonna have to hang out over there for now. You go ahead and take your car back. Alright, so he's hit the second point in his track, which means he gets another speed boost.
So that goes back into your discard, right?
Yep, whatever his discard pile is.
Oh, over there.
Is that it? Yeah.
Well, I'd assume that is, yeah. Right. Next round.
All right. So there's another subtle card. All right, we got an aggressive card after this. So that's a little bit of something new.
So when is the next round?
The next round is when the next character goes in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
basically,
like,
the way that happens is either we use our ultimate, or the enemy does damage to us while they're in this part of the track,
the
which
reason
is a
why
bash for them.
I had those 2 tokens because that card does something next round.
Oh, you had the.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. We gotta back up a second here.
Right,
It's
there is a
just-
difference between rounds and duels, isn't there?
The next round. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Actually, you know what? You didn't really bring enough attention to this, but you actually were adding another speed bonus and another damage bonus to that fight.
Yeah.
This is next
So we
round.
actually had plus 3.
That would put you onto 7 speed. Because you used
Yeah.
one,
So bring
didn't
that.
you?
Bring that. Not this one. This one right. So when you had this one going on, so you had +1, +1 coming from this card, and then +2 from this card. So we actually are at 7, which means we actually beat him here.
So
Why
the
I
attack
kept it.
doesn't hit.
That's why I was asking, that's why I put the tokens over there, 'cause it says next round. I was wondering when the next round is.
Yeah, the next round is the next fight, the attack,
Yeah.
the next exchange.
Fusion!
So we actually did hit him, and we actually did do damage, which means these guys are actually dead. Oh my god,
Yay.
wild!
It was just the fact that it's why I put the tokens on that card. It wasn't
Yeah, no,
for
it's
an
just
arbitrary reason.
yeah, no, it's just we just got to remember to bring that stuff out. But yeah, no, it's good. We did it.
It's why I keep the whole rounded thingies a bit thingy, if you know what I mean.
There we go. Do a bit of cleanup.
Alrighty. So a little bit of confusion, a little bit of rewinding, but good news all around. So that did what was that? Okay, so that did 4, 7, 4, 7, 8. It did 8 damage. -1 for the range. 7 damage.
Was your attack there melee or?
It was arranged.
Well, my attack is the one we're basing it off. Or
Ah.
actually, yeah, it would have been ranged anyway. Yeah, it would have actually been based off of that one, but yes, it's still thing. So, all right. So anyway, Roman still gets his +1 speed, but we also get to go all the way to the end. Whee!
Gain 3 damage.
Yeah, so going to the end is really fun because not only do you get the +1 speed, but we also get +3 damage.
Yay.
Which means now every attack that we successfully hit him with is going to do a whole bunch of damage to him, which is great.
So we gained 1 XP, yeah? 'Cause we
Yeah,
did a
you also
successful-
gained 1 experience for being successful,
And you gained
I
another
gained-
3 there.
+1 for success. So I actually am at 6 right now.
Woo!
Okay, so we're all caught up back to time prime now. The primary timeline.
Okay, but we're down to 4 cards each now because we only gained that one bonus one. That one time.
So now all the henchmen are dead, which is cool because now we can kind of focus our bets on here.
One moment.
Now, if you don't have any good cards to play for any particular reason, whether you're if you're a sideline player. What you can do is you can always rest, which basically means you heal 1 damage if you've lost any.
Mm.
And then you draw 1 card, and you just don't play anything for that round.
Right. Thinking, given some of these supports, these could do well when it comes to the aggressive attack next turn or next round. Though, Whirlwind on this Crimson Tornado as a support, target ally gains 1 speed. If they hit the villain, lower the villain's speed bonus by 1.
And I'm lowering the villain's damage and speed bonuses by 1 each with this attack if I hit.
So, in terms of the support, we could combo that down to basically negate the speed bonus.
Yeah, it would be pretty good.
Yeah. In that case, I'll throw that in as support.
Although it does... Oh, as a support, yeah, okay. In that case, we'll just do like that.
Um,
Now I gotta figure out what to do with the...
well, basically, if I play that snare net, it'll lower your speed. That's 4.
It would. It wouldn't lower it by a whole lot, because it would be like, you'd bring us down by 3, but you'd bring us up by 2. So you'd only bring us down by 1, but it'd still bring us down to 7 in total.
That's
versus
if you
his
took
sneak.
damage. If you're the active player, that 10 card is if you're an active player.
Yeah, I would save the high speed ones for next round here, because that one's gonna be real fast.
There isn't going to be.
Probably best bet, honestly, is probably just throw in the 7 just for the damage. Keeps the speed the same, gets a little bit of a hit in.
The 7 hasn't got any text. It's just
Yeah, but
Yeah, no, it's just damage.
It's for the damage.
It's just a 7 speed attack that does 3 damage. That's all it is. It gets the job done, as they say.
okay. Then
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Sorted.
All right, we'll see what happens. Receives
3.
double speed bonus, so he gets +4. So it's at 7, and we're at 8. So we still hit.
Whew.
2. So we lower his speed modifier by 2. He brings it up by 1. So it goes to 1, and his damage modifier goes down to 0.
Whew.
On top of that, we also do
5 damage plus
we do
damage bonus.
5 plus 8.
Yeah.
Minus 1, so a 7 again. So that's through the 46. We're rinsing the guy. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Am I?
No, you're going the right way.
From far away, the 4 looks like a 6. Okay. Success. Everyone take a drink.
Okay.
Victory drink.
It's kind of running long.
I'm using my hand as a discard pile.
Okay.
All right, so he moves along his track 1.
Right.
Now he just has 1 speed. That's all he's got. Yeah, don't. I know you were getting rid of them just for like cleanliness sake, but don't do anything with these modifiers. They come in and out at a pretty rapid pace. So you might as well just keep them together.
That is.
All right. So still doing really well. Still got lots of cards.
Roman
His
can now
speed's pretty
bash.
crap. He can now bash. He is in bash range, which means if this aggressive card hits, we're gonna have a bad time. We can ultimate at any time, but how do we feel about our luck a little? Try to get another.
I reckon we could probably do this.
I can go in with a 9 speed. That's my fastest card.
Okay. And I can support you again with Sonic Rush, which would give you another 1 speed and another 1 damage.
Pretty good. Like so.
Just thinking based on what we got here.
Okay, so D.
better card. Or
So you can either do. None of those cards are really ideal for comboing right now, but
Apex Predator could work as a support.
yeah, would give him -1 speed and damage, which would be helpful for getting us in the range that we want to be at.
you'd also get rid of those shield things. Medley.
Yeah, I'm using a melee attack this time, so that would be good. It's actually pretty nice. It's where we are right now. If you removed that 1 speed with that card, we would be at a point where I'm pretty sure he can't hit us. Like, I'm almost certain he doesn't have a card that's fast enough to hit us if we get rid of that modifier.
So do you want me to use Apex Predator with you guys?
Yeah, I would use. Yeah, we can use that as another support card. Double support. Because we are the support king. Okay, I keep bearing your card. I don't want to do that. Stop it! It's too much! I can't do... Technical difficulties.
I'm
No.
so happy. I think I
Stop
faked it.
magnetizing, you fuckers. I hate Tabletop Simulator. Stupid game. There.
Up.
Why are you not snack? Why are you no physics? Okay,
There we
good
go.
enough. Good enough. It's fine. It's 4 damage. We know how much it is. Alright, so that's gone. For this round. Let's see what happens.
A 5?
Wow, what a noob. This attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage against ranged attacks. Ah, it
No.
sucks to be you. So that my base attack was only 1 damage, but we do have +4 coming in from all of our bonuses. So that actually does 5 damage, which is not bad at all. Brings his health down to 41. Chips shield thing off of his dude.
Motherfucking. Everyone take the cards.
And everything resolves. So that's off now. That goes away. Goes over here, gets another damage bonus.
Right. So next round. Provided he doesn't hit us.
Yeah, so anyway, as I think I was going to try to say this before, but I got interrupted. But so the different ways that the duel ends. That's I remember now. That's what that's called. This running along the track part. That's referred to as a duel. Okay.
Right.
So the ways that a duel ends are: we use our ultimate to bash him. He attacks us successfully, bashes us, or he reaches the end of his track. And
Right.
the duel ends that way. And if any of those things happen, the duel ends, and we rotate out. The ideal circumstance is we want to use our ultimate on the turn that he's on this last square here, because that means we've done the maximum amount of stuff and taken the maximum amount of turns in a duel.
Yeah, I get you.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to do it earlier than that, but life is life. So now here we are. He's using a balanced attack, which is going to have about a medium speed value to it, usually with some kind of effect.
Mm-hmm.
And I can do up to. Actually, you know what? I didn't. My one card that I just used could have.
We did
Could have
other
done- I
successful
could have done
actions, by the way, which means D, you're up here. We've had 4 turns of successful actions.
Yep. Yeah.
Also,
don't forget the,
how many of those shield things did we bash down? Because we were using melee
just
last
one,
time.
because most of my attacks are ranged.
Yeah, there was one that we moved earlier by accident, so I guess at that point.
That's the one that's taken off. Most of my attacks have been ranged so far, so
That
we
last
have only
turn
taken
was
one off.
melee turn.
Yeah, that was a melee. That was the one.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway, where are we at right now?
So,
Anyway, I kind of forgot the card I just used to attack him with. I could have discarded a card to do extra 2 damage, but I forgot. So
well.
right now I'm probably just kind of looking to do as much speed as possible. Just hurt him as much as we can because I'm ulting next turn. If he doesn't hurt us somehow this turn, I'm ulting next turn. So I'm just here to do as much damage as possible without taking any risks.
Do you want damage over speed here? You reckon you're fine with that 8?
8 is the highest I can do.
I mean, I can support you again and make it go to 9. Additionally, or I can cheer and give you 1 damage.
What did it, I can't really see your.
So, hold on. So I've got Crimson Tornado, which we've already done this one before. That had the Whirlwind one. Gives you another speed, and if you hit me, you lower his bonus.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is Reaping Blade as a support, which has Cheer, which means you gain 1 damage. Either of them seem viable.
Honestly, probably speed would be more desirable right now.
Something to just really balance it out, just in case, really, isn't it?
But mine, that's a force that would reduce it by a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I'm not doing those combos though. That's why I'm doing them as supports.
My combos aren't really useful.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, it's better than doing nothing.
I could make
as
it
far as-
so damage.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. There would be no reason not to. All you just gotta do is just that over. Yeah. So yeah, there's no reason not to at this point. So because the round's gonna end next turn whether he hits us or not. So that's just avoiding the damage. Oh, sake.
So you're trying to get on as a support there.
Yeah.
Give me 1 sec.
So that's the support effect. That's comboing.
Okay.
They've synchro summoned. They synchro fusioned. Whatever.
We know what he's doing. So
All right. So we visually represented here. Kill me. We visually represented here 3 plus 3 damage. So it's 6. And we got a +1 speed, right?
Yeah.
So right now we're rocking 10 speed versus his whatever he's got.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens. 4, so it's 5. Yeah, okay, yeah, we got it. We nailed it.
Boom.
Another 6 damage taken. And that was a melee attack. Oh, point off. And he goes down to 35 health. Damn, he lost almost half of his health on the first duel.
And
Roman is the easiest boss. There are ways you can make this way freaking harder than
I'm taking
we're dealing
Syndra.
with right now.
So you gained another XP there, D. So you're on 5 like me. Weiss has got what's described as a metric fuck ton of XP.
Yeah, you know what? It seems like a lot, but really it's not. The minimum cost you're going to spend to upgrade any of your cards is 5. So you're literally going to put in like 1 new card, which is actually more than you often get as a sideline character. It's the hot stuff to be in the middle because you get so much more experience when you're in the middle.
Yeah. Right. So
at this point, normally he would have this subtle attack, but since it's the end of track, the duel ends no matter what next turn. I'm just gonna go ahead and use my ultimate. Boom. So that interrupts. It bashes. I heal 1, except I haven't taken any damage, so I'm good, and I get 3 experience for the fight. That's another reason why being in the middle is great. Is because your ultimate gives you bonus experience for using it.
sweet.
3, so I'm at 12 experience. That does 6 damage. He's at 29 already.
As far as tutorial games go, this is going quite nice.
Go ahead and
So
pile those there. They'll be needed eventually. So, what happens now? He resets to the very beginning. All his stuff gets undone. He stays wherever he is in his deck.
any semblance, well, my semblance at least, or is it every semblance gets reset each duel?
All the semblances get refreshed.
Some that gets used. Think it up. I used it to help you in the last bit, just in case.
So, what happens now is everyone draws back up to 5 cards. So, whatever. Get to 5 cards. So, do that. And now you may take this opportunity to look at your upgrade deck, which is the pile of 21 cards on the side there.
So we can just view this, yeah?
Yeah, you can just search it. There's no order to it. Throw right in there. So now we got a new set of henchmen's. Hench thugs. They all get a new set of tokens. And the cool thing about this game, I think, there's a lot of like long-term gameplay elements in here, like experience, buying cards, building, building your deck, buying new cards, replacing them, and all that. Like, it seems like there's a pretty long format to it, considering that we're already like 2/3 of the way through killing Roman. And the reason for that is you can string together boss fights, like villain fights, into a series of consecutive fights called campaigns, where you literally fight, 2 or 3 or even 4 villains, and you keep the same deck, same experience, same stats, same everything through each fight. So, and you can gradually, you can get new objectives for each fight, and you can gradually ratchet up the difficulty as you go along to, increase the challenge to match the strength of your deck. So if we have fun here, if we like what we see, we not only can we comment, subscribe, and ring the bell, we can also save this map as is and continue on another day when there's just the 3 of us and fight another villain with the same deck that we have right now. Which honestly, that is like the one enormous advantage of playing it this way versus playing the board game. Because to play the board game, you either have to like remember everything, write everything down, or leave your board game as is. But with this, I just save an instance of the game and reload it the next time we want to play. So super convenient in that regard.
Right. So based on that.
So if everyone's done that, so where are we right now? Are we ready to stuff?
I assume we're ready to move on to our next duel.
Unless did you make any purchases there, fella?
I couldn't tell. I didn't know what to purchase, so I just left it.
So in that case, we'll just get right into it.
Yeah. So I'm placing this down for the damage.
Good damage.
Just a lot of the other cards I've got in my hand at the moment would provide reductions to Roman's speed and damage bonuses. Really, once he's got them. So, I know we've still got the henchman over there that could end up being a problem.
Could be a problem. Now I could, for this particular henchman, who seems to be a little bit on the buffer side, I could go and try and slay it.
Yeah.
And get him dead. Although that buff could be spooky, depending on what it is. I could go in just sort of a probe just to see what it's like. Alternatively, I could also try Icy Blast. which would deal 1 damage to all the minions.
And would bump up the speed a little bit.
Well, it wouldn't bump up the speed because we still go by the lowest amount of speed.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
But if
so we would
you're
still be
hitting-
starting at 5.
But if you're hitting the minions, won't it flip them?
It will if
Yeah.
we hit.
Right now we're at a 5, which is decent odds against a subtle attack from Roman, but it's not quite certain. I'd say it's probably somewhere in like the 60 to 70% range if I had to put a number to it.
What if I? Oh wait, no, that would reduce it, wouldn't it?
Yes. Now, there is one other way we could just try and secure this a little bit, and that's me using my Sembelence early, given the rest of the speed of my other attacks.
You have really good speed?
Yeah, I mean the rest of my stuff, 7, 9, 8, 10. This is the weakest speed card that I've got at the moment. So if I throw my super speed on there, that would send it to 7. Which would be a much better shot against a soul.
Well, that would certainly be one line of thought. Then it's up to D.
I have no idea what to do.
Is anything to support something?
Target minion. I'd see the thing that would target minion has -2 speed. At least this card on this minion until the end of the duel.
Yeah,
Healing
so
the
that
minion.
would. So you could basically tag a henchman as having less speed to make it easier to kill later once we reveal it and know what it is. That might be okay if you used it on the bigger one over here, because he won't die from this attack for sure, and we'll probably need a little bit of extra work.
If I did that with that minion.
So that would
No.
be.
I mean, it would have to go in as a support, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, at the end of the day, the point is that he's reducing this minion's speed
Right.
By 2.
by 2. Get this out here, and then perfect.
Okay.
All right, so we're all supporting for this guy, or we're all fighting for this guy. He's
Yeah.
going in for support, so he's safe. You and I, we're on the front lines. We're putting our lives on the line. We're sticking our
There we
necks
go.
guy.
Oof.